guys, welcome back to the Home of Chrome. I'm Cadillac Pat, your host. And today we are heading over to the shop in our 94 Superior Cadillac. And the reason why we're going over to the shop today is because I want to get this thing under some lights and see exactly what all we need to do. I need to take an assessment, if you will, of what I have to do to get this car that we're in right now museum ready. Now, we're not looking for necessarily perfection, but we are looking for better than what it is right now. This is a 27-year-old working girl, basically. She's got 179,575 miles on her, and I've put about 71,000 of those on this car. So as you can imagine, over the years, she's gotten a few bumps and bruises, some scratches. She lived up in New England with me for a little while, so she did get a little rust that we're going to try to fix up and address while we've got her down. And so right now I've got just over a month before she has to be there. The delivery date is January 11th through the 15th, and the display starts on the 19th. It is called Driven to Serve, which I think is pretty cool. They've got a police car, a fire truck, ambulance, a couple other little things like that, and of course, a hearse. So let's get over to the shop, see what it is we need to do. Let's pick this thing apart, and let's get a game plan going. All right, so we're gonna start here. Let's start at the front, okay? There's a lot up here on the front that needs to be addressed. Like we've got the chipping here from rock chips. That all needs to be cleaned up. We've got these plastic lenses up front that need to be polished out. These are glass here, but they've got a couple little chips in them that really I can't do anything about. Bumper trim, we'll need to repaint that all the way around. There's a lot of, maybe I can bring this back out as far as getting it cut and polished. Maybe, we'll see. There is some rock chipping here on the hood that we'll need to address. Come back here to the fender. Again, rock chipping. There's a scratch and a small dent there. Got some pinstriping here that's gonna need to be fixed. If I can find that color, hopefully. Obviously, the car needs a good bath. This area here needs to be fixed. Now, I'm not going to take this out because there is a hole there. The last funeral home that owned it had a CB radio in it. Since they were out in the country, it was just easier for the funeral home to reach whoever was driving the car via CB. These need to be removed and repainted. Obviously, this cowl panel needs to have some attention done to it. She does have a couple rock chips that need to be filled. Luckily, I have the capability to do that, so we're gonna take care of that. This seal up here needs to be addressed. That thing's filthy. As much as I hate to, I'm going to have to remove all of this trim here. I might see what I can do with some sealant type of material. This trim around the window here needs to be painted, as does this trim along the bottom. This area here too. Tops of the doors we'll need to address. Actually, I think it's on all 4 doors. As you can see here, maybe you can see in the light, but this line right here shows where it has been painted before and it was very thin. Clear coat cracking here at the top of the sail panel. We got clear coat cracking here on the quarter panels. Got some gunk here to remove from, it used to have, well, that's coming off pretty easy. I might be able to knock that out pretty quick. Those chrome door edge protectors, those are always really good, huh? Need to reattach this rub strip here. Some scratching along the doors. Now, mind you, this car's got 179,000 miles on it, and of that, I've put 71,000 on it. So she's been a working girl for most of her life. The B-pillars here need to be repainted. And of course, this trim along the bottom here all the way around the car needs to be painted as well. The stainless trim at the bottom actually looks like it's in pretty decent condition. Quarter panels obviously need a lot of work. I've got some cracking here that you can see in the fiberglass, so we'll try to blend all that in, make that better. Cracking around the door, around the gas filler. You go in here and clean all this up. Now, obviously, you're not going to see this at the museum, but I want it to be right, or as right as I can possibly get it. This fender skirt, I need to slide under there and see if I can't get it to sit back up here. I think the holes in there are pretty much messed up, so I got to put some inserts in it to get this to sit where it's supposed to, because it's not supposed to sit down below that. It's supposed to be one continuous line. Again, that looks pretty decent there. Now back here, we've got some fiberglass work that we're gonna have to do. So this whole fin here is gonna have to be sanded. That's gonna have to be re-fiberglassed in. I'm gonna pull the tail lights so we can polish those out. Again, more paint work needs to be done. Man, it's gonna be a lot of work. Again, like I said, we're gonna try and get this as good as we can get it. She's probably not gonna be perfect because again, she is a working girl, was a working girl. I know these back here need to be repainted. I'm not going to let it go with these need to be repainted. This needs to be replaced, this reflector. I've got a reflector at home that I'll put in it. Again, needs to be repainted. Back door is okay. There is a spot right here that needs to be fixed. And again, more chrome trim glue. Spot here on the vinyl that needs to be taken care of. Ooh, hello. There's some rust right there that I didn't know about. So I'm gonna fix that. All that back there, this needs to be fixed. This piece here actually needs to be replaced. Again, I've got a piece for this at home from when I replaced the other side. Yeah, as you can see here, that's broken. I need to get with some folks that actually know more about body work than I do, but I need to get this bumper to set back out because this right here is supposed to be even with this, okay? You see how it's tucked underneath the side trim here? Yeah, I can't have that. There's a lot of little fine scratches in this paint. I don't know if you can see it or not, but it's really bad. Actually, the car could do for a repaint altogether, but don't have the time. This spot here needs to be fixed. Sand it, repaint it. More peel and clear coat. You got cracking here at the top. These cars were never meant to be on the road as long as a lot of these have been on the road. So you're gonna start getting some age stuff. Landau bars are okay. They look pretty good. Yeah, so we're not gonna worry about these too much. I know the top's gonna have a few places that need to be fixed, like this spot right here. I need to clean all of that out and get in there and fix that. Same up here on there. Yeah, but you see how this trim is just kind of, this stuff is just kind of coming off. I'm pretty sure I can fix that. Shouldn't be too much of a problem. Missing that piece there, so that's gonna get fixed. Again, a whole lot of just little things, little paintwork things. I'm gonna get this fixed here. Somebody hit that with a church truck years ago and chipped that out, so we're gonna fix it. Side trim, again, need to get in here, clean that out, reattach that. This piece I still have. It came loose, so luckily I found it while I was washing the car, so I just went ahead and took it off, set it in the car so we didn't lose it, because you can't hardly find those, and when you do, they're kind of expensive from the factory. I think you can still get them at the factory. I don't know. Anyway, I got some cracking around this here that needs to be squared up. And again, like I said, little chips and scratches all over this thing. This here needs to be repainted because it didn't turn out the way I wanted it to when I painted it several years ago. Probably hit these B-pillars again. I've got some touch up, just like I said, all around the car. It's gonna need to be done. Right in here, there's actually supposed to be a panel that comes down here that fills all this in. That blew out some years ago because it just, it got frail, and plastic does what plastic does when you're doing 70 down the highway. It comes loose. So what we're going to do is we're going to use probably, we're going to use some chassis black up in here. You can see it's kind of, get all that sanded down, get that cleaned up, primed, and we'll repaint all that with chassis black. Again, also missing the panel over here that's supposed to sit right here. See, it's a little chipped out. Those blew out years ago, and just never did anything with them. So these wheel covers actually came off of a 93 Fleetwood Brougham. Now the reason why I've got 93 wheel covers on a 94 is because the lace wheels that originally came with this car, while they are classy for a mass-produced commercial chassis application, they're really hard to clean. They're just, you can't get them clean. I've tried iron remover, degreaser, a combination of things, but they just never really get clean. So what I did was I went to CW Coach in Cincinnati, Ohio, had him send me out a complete set of commercial chassis Steelies, and then I put these caps on them. Now, funny story, I'd been looking for a set of these caps in great condition for really cheap. Now, I know it's hard to find things that are in great condition for really cheap, but I've been searching for them since 2011 when I bought the car, because I've always loved this look. Went out to Hearse in Denver, in 2017, I think. So I've been looking for them 6 years at the time. And I made mention of it to a friend of mine, Alex. Now, she put the word out, and she got to looking for me. And she hit me up after I'd already gotten home. She's like, hey, I found these online. Go look at them, send me the link. And it was $100 for the set. Now that's insane, because these things usually go for about $400 or $500. And the only ding that I was able to find on them, there's a spot over here on the on the passenger side. Let's take a walk around there. We'll take a look at it, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Right here. Didn't have to look hard, but right, I don't know if you guys can see that right there. That's the only ding on these wheels. There's no curb rash. There's nothing. They are absolutely amazing in condition. But that's why he was selling them for $100. It was because of this ding right here. Now, when I'm doing 70 down the highway, you can't see them. And 9 times out of 10, you're not looking for it. This is a PCS car, which is the Professional Car Society. And the goal of the Professional Car Society is for the preservation and restoration of professional cars, which obviously is hearses, limousines, flower cars, and car-based ambulances. Now, this car, while not perfect, does fit within the guidelines of the PCS. My others don't. But anyway, this setup here would get it dinged in points if I were to take it to the a PCS meet and have it judged. Now, I can take it to a PCS meet because with all rights it is still stock, but they would not give me good points. I mean, the rest of the car could be entirely perfect, but because I've got 93 caps on a 94, nope. I bought the car with this in it, and we're gonna fix it. We're gonna fix it because, number one, tired of looking at it. This car deserves better. And I'm going to fix this here too, because it's kind of bent in. And then here, I don't know if you can see, there it is, right there. See that dent? That's got to get squared up. I've got some stuff at home that will take care of that, hopefully. Let's go inside and take a look. Nice. All right, so obviously we've got some cleaning out to do in here because this car does do daily driver duty sometimes. So yeah, of course I need to pay attention to the door jambs. Not a big deal. We've got some stains down here in the carpet that we're gonna have to get cleaned out. Again, stains on the carpet here. Now these seats, yeah, so these seats are your typical mid-90s leather and vinyl seats from GM. You see how it's got some wear on that over there, and then the coloring's just not right all the way around. So as far as the ride, the seating comfort goes, I'm not really gonna do too much about it because it's still actually pretty comfortable, but we are going to fix that leather and re-dye these seats. We'll have to do both of them, of course, so they'll match. And as you can see, that vinyl there has faded over time. So, clean the carpets, do the seats. Top of the steering wheel. The top of the steering wheel needs to be done because, you know, 179,000 miles kind of wears on it. That lower panel down there below the steering column, that needs to be taken care of. I recovered this a few years ago, and I really don't know what I'm doing when it comes to that, when it comes to hitting these corners. But I'm gonna see if I can't maybe straighten these corners up, because that looks like crap, I know. And then over here on the A-pillar, that needs to be fixed. The A-pillars, the material's loose, so we're gonna go ahead and take care of those as well. But all in all, I mean, car's in decent shape. It really looks worse right now than it is because it's, well, filthy. We'll fill these in here. We'll put something behind it and run some black RTV sealant in here and get that as smooth as we can. Just a lot going on. We'll go inside here. We've got, I really can't see too much of what's going on back here, but this is okay back here for the most part. We are going to clean the carpets and everything back here, of course, because I think they are going to want to have the doors open, so that way they can display the casket that's in it. We'll need to fix the casket up, so that's not a big deal. And that spot over there in the headliner needs to be retucked if I can get it tucked up. And I don't know if you can see it, how well you can see it, but there's some stuff here on that wood trim on the inside that also needs to be touched up. So all in all, like I said, car's in pretty decent shape. She's just gonna need some loving, you know. So, yeah. So that's pretty much it on this one. We're gonna do a series on it. I say a series, it's gonna be, you know, just obviously it's gonna be quick, and it's gonna be quite time consuming here for the next few weeks getting it done. But luckily I'm over here in the shop, so I've got some space to do it. And we're gonna make it look as new as we possibly can. We'll show you guys how to repair leather, how to re-dye leather using the products that we use, how to do some spot-in work using, honestly, since this car needs repaint, I've found that the Duplicolor paint that you can buy at your local hardware or your local auto store actually works out really well in a pinch. This is not going to be a concours restoration by any means, because this car needs far more than just a brightening. That's really what it's going to be. It's going to be a brightening, but we're definitely not going to do a concours level restoration on it. We just want to get it better than what it is, and we now have a really good reason with a firm deadline. So let's get it knocked out. So if you like what you're seeing, like, share, subscribe, click that notification bell. You can do what you want to do. I can't tell you what to do. I'm not your dad. So yeah, we're gonna get to work. But now we're gonna head over to Richard's house. We've got the 74 Superior that I picked up from Car Wizard here a couple weeks ago. We have got it